Hmm. So we are discussing basic calculus. In this, we will be discussing about differentiation. What we will see is we will first see a little bit of functions, very basic thing about functions, right? Second, we will discuss about differentiation. And the third thing we will discuss is integration. Okay. And once after differentiation, there will be a small topic of application of derivatives also. So that is maxima and minima. This is application of differentiation. ठीक है, derivatives. इसको मैथ्स में AOD के अंदर आता है, ये एप्लीकेशन ऑफ डेरिवेटिव्स के अंदर। ये बहुत बड़ा टॉपिक है, बट हम इसका सिर्फ इतना ही पार्ट पढ़ेंगे बिकॉज फिजिक्स में दिस इज व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड. ओके, सो लेट्स सी व्हाट आर फंक्शंस. ओके, सपोज, पे अटेंशन. Suppose we have y is equal to x square plus 2, for example. Okay. Are you guys aware that both x and y are variables here? Are you aware about it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, which type of variable is x? Tell me. Arushi, can you tell me a bit of which type of variable is x? By substituting the value of x, we get the value of y. So which type of variable?
Independent variable.
It is independent variable. Shabash, very good beta. It is independent variable. By any chance हम लोगों ने किया है क्या पहले?
No, sir.
नहीं ना, हाँ. And this is a dependent variable. Okay. So y is equal to x square plus 2 is dependent and independent variable, right? So we can write this as, in short, we can write y as some function of x, right? Some function. It's not precise which type of function, but it is some function of x. So if y is, say, e power x, where e is again a constant, and this constant is approximately 2.72. So ये exponential function हो गया, right? So this is again some function of y is some function of x, right? So this is how functions are mentioned. ठीक है. Now, if there are more than one independent variable, for example, in this case, x square plus t cube plus 4z plus 2. So y is some function of x, comma t, comma z. All these three things, three variables, x, t, and z are independent variables. I hope all of you understood this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
है ना? X, t, and z, they are independent variables. And y is a dependent variable. I hope all of you understood this thing, right? Now, function is made up of three things. Remember this, function is made up of three parameters, you can say. Okay. Function is made up of three parameters. A desired output. So I'm just writing it with a light colored pen. So we need a desired output. Desired output का मतलब क्या हुआ? For example, अगर तुम्हें चाय पीने का मन है, for example, ठीक है? तो ड्रिंकिंग टी इज योर डिजायर्ड आउटपुट, यस और नो, ऑल ऑफ यू?
Yes, sir.
So that is the first thing which comes to our mind. Why all of you are sitting here? Because you want to learn this subject from me. That's it. Not from me. You want to learn this subject. ठीक है? So that was your desired output. Okay? अभी it has not materialized. अभी तुम लोगों ने फिजिक्स पढ़ी नहीं है पूरी मुझसे. तो चाय बन गई क्या? नहीं, चाय बनी नहीं है अभी. चाय पीने का मन है मेरा. Understood? तो for that, we need a required input. This is what is essentially required. So I am just writing it with bold, with dark ink, right? So there, चाय पीने के लिए सबसे पहले क्या करोगे? To make tea, sorry, you have to make the tea, right? So to make tea, what do you need? You need sugar, you need tea leaves, you need milk, you need water, you need vessel, you need burner. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
रिक्वायर्ड इनपुट है और डिजायर्ड आउटपुट है. देखो मैंने वो जो एडजेक्टिव्स हैं, डिजायर्ड, उधर वो रिक्वायर्ड. सो इफ यू वांट टू लर्न फिजिक्स, व्हाट यू शुड लुक फॉर? यू शुड लुक फॉर, क्या क्या करोगे तुम फिजिक्स पढ़ने के लिए? जो जो रिक्वायर्ड है वो जमा करोगे पहले. बुक, नोटबुक्स, टेक्स्ट बुक्स, राइट, पेन, है ना? अब क्या करोगे? फिजिक्स की बुक लेके सब कुछ, whatever was required, you took that required input, you arranged all the required things, right? So for tea leaves, sorry, for making tea, you took tea leaves, water, milk, sugar, everything you took. Okay. Now what you did was you made a mixture of that and you put it in the freezer. Similarly here, you took all the textbooks, books, pen and whatever was required and you went to a Kathakali dance center. Will you learn physics? Will you get tea?
No, sir.
Obviously not. हाँ ना बोलेंगे भाई, बाकी सबके लिए है क्या? हेलो,
Yes, sir.
मिलेगा तुमको चाय मिलेगी कि नहीं मिलेगी तुमको अगर तुमने फ्रीजर में रख दिया तो?
नहीं,
No, sir.
no, sir.
ऑब्वियसली नहीं मिलेगी. कथकली डांस सेंटर में चले जाओगे, फिजिक्स की किताब लेके फिजिक्स पढ़ लोगे क्या? ऑब्वियसली नहीं पढ़ोगे.
नहीं.
अंडरस्टूड और नॉट? सो यू नीड अ कॉम्पिटेंट ऑपरेटर, राइट? सो आई एम जस्ट राइटिंग इट ऑपरेटर. So you need a good operator to operate on this input. Okay. So this is an operator which is operating on the input. In the case of tea, the operator is the burner, the gas. Okay. In case of physics, the operator is a good coaching class for physics. A good tutor for physics is the operator for you. Right. So these are the three essentials of a function. Operator, सबसे पहले desired output, फिर required input, and then you need a good operator. So all these three things comprise a function. समझ आया नहीं आया सबको?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So make a note of it quickly and then we will move ahead. आरुषि को समझ आया कि नहीं आया?
Oh, yes, sir.
Good.
सर एक डाउट था उसमें
हाँ.
आपने सेकंड एग्जांपल में लिखा है y इज इक्वल टू e रेज़ टू पावर x, तो x उसका फंक्शन कैसे हुआ y का?
नहीं, एक्स वाई का फंक्शन नहीं, वाई एक्स का फंक्शन है बेटा.
हाँ, तो वो कैसे?
हुआ क्योंकि तुम एक्स की वैल्यू चेंज करोगी तो वाई की वैल्यू चेंज होगी या नहीं होगी? चलो इस ई को हटा दो, तुम यहाँ पे 2 लिख लो. थैंक यू. 2 लिख लो. अब बताओ x की वैल्यू चेंज करोगी तो y चेंज होगा या नहीं होगा?
बस
तो हुआ ना फंक्शन वो। Once you're done, just type done, okay? चलो. So let's start with differentiation. ठीक है. We have this x and y axis. So this is the x and y axis. So this is y is some function of x. Okay. This is y axis. This is x axis. Now we take 2 points here. These points are P and Q. Okay. Now the coordinates of P are x1 and y1, and the coordinates of Q are x2 and y2. ये x1, ये x2, ये y1, ये y2. Can I write y1 as f of x1? Yes or no? And y2 as f of x2? All of you say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Why
sir.
I can, I'll tell you why I can do this. Why I can do this is, suppose I have some y is x square only, right? So this is a function of x. We are aware of it. Now, if x is equal to 2, what will be y? it will be 2 square. So can I write y is, I replaced x with 2, right? So I wrote it as f of 2. When y is x square and I substituted value of x as 2, I wrote, we got y is equal to 2 square, which is equal to f of 2. Now if x is equal to 3, y will be f of 3. Understood or not? That's why when I substituted x as x1, I wrote y1 as f of x1 and y2 as f of x2. I hope all of you understood this.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts till this point? See, please get your doubts clarified right here, right now. Don't wait for it that you will once ask me after 10 days कि sir हमें तो calculus समझ ही नहीं आया, and then I will entertain you. I'm not going to entertain you after 10 days. हाँ, क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने में कोई डाउट होगा, I'll definitely teach you. I'll clear your doubts, but not the theory part. Any doubts if you are attending the session. If you have any doubts, please get it clarified right here, right now. Understood? All of you. I want a yes or no from all of you. Say yes or no.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Especially the
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So I'm just removing this part. Okay. Now, what you see here is can you see this? This is a secant. How many of you are aware about secant? You know what is the secant? पता है कि नहीं पता है secant क्या होता है? नहीं? अर्पिता, Aditya, Siva, Naman, where were you in yesterday's session? You're not there in yesterday's session. Where were you?
Sir,
Sir,
sir, I was not able to attend due to going out, sir.
Okay, okay.
So we can define it as a straight line that cuts a curve into 2
Yes.
points.
Secant is a line which cuts the curve at 2 different points. So in this case, PQ is a secant, right? It's a line. It can extend both ways, right? Now pay attention, huh? This is R. Now, can you find this is how it can move, it can extend, right? Now, this angle is theta. All of you know about trigonometry now. This angle is theta. This length QR is y2 minus y1. Or you write it as delta y, the change in the value of y. This length is x2 minus x1, and this is delta x. Okay? Delta y and delta x. Now, this is also theta, right? So now, just pay attention. What I'm going to say is very important. There is a slope of the secant. We call it as slope. What is this slope? Slope of the line, or in this case, we are discussing about secant, right? In this case, it is secant. So slope of the line is given as tan of the angle it subtends with the x-axis. It makes with the x-axis. Tan of the angle which the line is inclined with the x-axis, right? So what is this tan theta? What is this tan theta? In this triangle PQR, from triangle PRQ, tan theta is delta y upon delta x. Clear है सबको?
yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Or you can also write it as y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Clear hai? Or you can write it as f of x2 minus f of x1. एक मिनट चल रही मेरी. f of x1 upon x2 minus x1. Understood? Can I write all these?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
now, if I write x1 as x and x2 as x plus h, obviously f of x1 can be written as f of x and f of x2 can be written as f of x plus h, where h is the difference between these 2 points. Can I do this? If I write x1 as x and x2 as x plus h, can I write this tan theta, the slope of the secant, as f of x plus h minus f of x upon x plus h minus x? Can I write this? Write it like this. All of you, say yes or no.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
सिंपल है ना? कोई इसमें प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ना किसी को?
No, sir.
No,
Very
sir.
good. Very good. Now just read this what I am writing here, okay? If Q starts moving towards P along the curve, imagine करते जाओ क्या हो रहा हो. Curve में ही P is moving, Q is moving towards Q. Sorry, Q is moving towards P, right? The change in the value of independent variable. कौन है independent variable? It's x. The change in the value of independent variable starts decreasing. ऐसा होगा या नहीं होगा? देख लेते हैं. Change in the value of independent variable क्या हुआ? Delta x हुआ, right? So when Q is coming towards P, say suppose करो Q reaches this point. What is happening here? Can you see this? The value of delta x has decreased. Yes or no? अरे हाँ ना बोलना है,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
है ना? So now the change in the value of the independent variable starts decreasing, and hence there is a decrease in the value of the change in dependent variable also, because obviously the value of y depends on the value of x, right? So when there is a change in the value of x, there is a change in the value of y. So when there is a decrease in the value of x, there is a decrease in the value of y. Yes or no, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
sir.
So there is a decrease in value of the change in dependent dependent variable, which is y in this case, right? When the change in the value of x becomes very, very small, the secant PQ almost becomes a tangent at P. Almost becomes a tangent at P. All of you agree to this or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hoga. I can show it to you. Just see this, huh? So this is it. This is P, this is Q. So this was the original secant, right? Now when Q started moving towards P, let's say it reaches here. The tangent will look like this. Sorry, the secant will change like this. Yes or no? And when Q is very close to P, let's show it with a different color this time. Black तो नहीं चलेगा, रेड करते हैं. ये हो गया तुम्हारा, ठीक है? This is Q. Can you see here? It almost becomes the secant almost becomes. I'm not saying it has become a perfect tangent. Tangent is what? A line which touches the curve at one point only. First of all, the very idea of point is hypothetical. ठीक है? Whenever something, you cannot see a point because it does not have any dimension. Once you start seeing anything and you call it as point, it's hypothetical. It's wrong, right? So here also, we are assuming that the secant is almost becoming a tangent to the curve. I hope all of you understood it. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All the junior students, understood or not? Darpan, Sinha,
Yes.
Naman, you understood or not? Paurvi?
Sir.
Paurvi?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Naman?
Yes, sir.
Shiva?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hmm.
हाँ बेटा बोल. आदित्य समझ आया नहीं आया?
Yes, sir.
हाँ ठीक. तो I'll just draw the tangent here. This is the tangent now. And Q has reached this point. P. Q is very close to P. Okay. Then the slope of the tangent at P is now given as, or at P is now given as, can be given as देखिए. Now this angle which this tangent is making with the horizontal is phi. I am calling it as phi, right? So this tan phi is equal to limit delta x tends to 0. Delta y by delta x. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? देखो, you were aware that tan theta was the slope, right?
Yes.
And it was given as delta y by delta x. So it kept on decreasing, and at certain point in time, it became what? The secant became a tangent, right? So what was the event which was taking place? What was the event which was responsible for this secant to become a tangent? what was the event which was responsible for this secant to become a tangent? That was changing of x. That was tending of delta x towards 0. Tending ka matlab that the value of delta x is moving towards 0. Yes or no? That was responsible for this secant to become a tangent at P. Yes or no? All of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is why we are writing limit delta x tends to 0. That is why we are writing limit delta x tends to 0. We are not equating it to 0. Why we are not equating it to 0? Because it is not equal to 0 there. And if it happens to be 0, what will happen to delta y by delta x? It will become not defined. Any fraction where the denominator is 0, it becomes not defined, right? And we don't want anything which is not defined. So always remember that you are limiting delta x towards 0. You are not making it equal to 0. So that is the way you write. Limit ka LIM likhte hain hum isko. I'll first write it completely and then I'll change it to limit LIM. So this is limit delta x tends to 0. It's delta y by delta x. Clear hai beta sabko? That is the slope of the tangent at P. Now, let's be more precise in this. What is delta x here? Can you see what is delta x here? Delta x is h. So I write limit h tends to 0. And of course, this is the case, right? If h tends to 0, then this becomes delta y is what? F of x plus h minus f of x upon x plus h minus x. Clear hai sabko? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yes,
This
sir.
is called as first principle of differentiation or first rule of differentiation. Okay. So now what is differentiation? देखो ये ऐसे लिखते हैं, ठीक है? This is the first rule or first principle of differentiation. You can also write this delta phi as limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x, and then you can write it as dy by dx. Then you can write it as dy by dx. And this is what? You can further write it as, in words you can write it as, what is differentiation? So you can write it as seeking a change in the value of dependent variable. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, देखो ये ना किताबों में बहुत कम मिलता है ये सब इस तरीके का लिखा हुआ. So seeking a change in the value of dependent variable for a very small change in the value of independent variable. Okay. This is what is differentiation is. So differentiation can be denoted by these expressions. Limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x. Or it is the slope of the tangent at P or drawn to the curve. That is also differentiation. What is differentiation? It is slope of the tangent drawn to the curve. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I hope all of you understood this. Yes or no? अच्छा सुनो मेरी बात सुनो. तुमको ना हाँ बोलना है या ना बोलना है. Either you have to say yes or you have to say no. ठीक है? Either you have to say yes or you have to say no. If you have understood it, say yes. If you have not understood it, say no. I'll ask you, where didn't you understand it? तो तुम मुझे बता दो, I'll clear it. I'll clear it for you. बट प्लीज से समथिंग. चुपचाप नहीं बैठे रहना है. समझ आया?
यस सर।
Yes, sir.
देखो ये भी दो ही लोगों को समझ में आएगा. लिखो इसको.
सर 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 एक डाउट था. एक्सक्यूज मी सर.
2 मिनट देना बेटा आयुषी मेरे को. हाँ. हाँ बेटा बोलो आरुषि.
सर
आरुषि को डाउट है ना?
यस सर.
हाँ
सर
बोलो.
स्लोप ऑफ द लाइन, फिर वो tan थीटा कैसे आया?
उसको स्लोप बोलते हैं बेटा. स्लोप का मतलब क्या होता है ना, स्लोप का मतलब वो कितने एंगल पे इंक्लाइंड है उसका टैन. स्लोप की डेफिनेशन क्या है? टैन ऑफ द एंगल एट विच द लाइन इज इंक्लाइंड टू द हॉरिजॉन्टल और अ पर्टिकुलर लाइन. अंडरस्टूड?
हम्म.
कोई भी लाइन अगर दूसरी लाइन के साथ थीटा एंगल पे इंक्लाइंड है तो उसका स्लोप उस लाइन के रिस्पेक्ट में क्या होगा? टैन थीटा होता है. दिस इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ स्लोप. अंडरस्टूड?
यस सर.
That is why we wrote it for tan theta. That is why we wrote it for tan phi. We wrote it for secant, we wrote it as tan theta, right?
यस सर.
For tangent, we wrote it as tan phi. Yes or no?
यस सर.
ठीक है. लिखो लिखो. Once you have noted it, please type done in the comment window, huh? All of you. So almost all of you are done, right? Very good.
Yes.
So let's see one question based on this. First principle only, right? So suppose a function is given to you. Suppose, Naman, you are able to understand it or not?
Sir, can you show the previous screen again? Just 1 minute.
Naman? Naman?
Sir, done.
Naman, am I audible to you? Okay, that's great. Very good, very good. So suppose y is equal to x square, right? So this is f of x. Now I want you to differentiate, find dy by dx. I want you to do this. How you can do this is, first of all, write what is f of x plus h. It will be wherever there is x in the function, replace it by x plus h. So this becomes x plus h whole square. ये हो गया x square. It becomes x square plus h square plus 2xh. Right? F of x to x square है ही है. Okay. Now what is the value of delta x? It's simple x plus h minus x. So it is h. So what is dy by dx? It's limit h tends to 0. F of x plus h minus f of x upon h. And this is limit h tends to 0. What is f of x plus h? It's x square plus h square plus 2xh minus x square upon h. ये cancel हो गया. Now this is limit h tends to 0. This is h plus 2x upon h. ये cancel हो गया. Right? So this is dy by dx. Now, once you have eliminated, after you have eliminated h from the denominator, ठीक है? Substitute h equals to 0 wherever it is in the function, in the expression, in fact. So this is the operation which we need to perform. Okay. So let's substitute it. So from after applying this, what we get is dy by dx is limit. Now we don't need this because we are now substituting the value of h as 0. So here h is to be substituted as 0. So we are substituting h as 0 in this case. So we get 2x. So this is the differentiation of y with respect to x. Got it in this case? Yes, Naman, very good. So always remember, see why I'm asking you to go through this route. There are certain formulas which you apply directly, you can get these answers bang on, right? Immediately. But having this understanding, seeing from where it is coming, right? Having the background of differentiation will help you a lot in understanding kinematics, in understanding many, many things in physics, because you will be using it extensively in physics, right?
Yes, sir.
Naman, we don't see this. This is a formula which is already there, right? But you should be aware of why it is coming, how it is coming. Okay. लिखो इसको. This is exercise, the first one.
तो ये 2x जो है ये क्या दिखा रहा है, लाइक क्या रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है?
कौन हो तुम? पहले ये बताओ.
सर आरुषि.
आरुषि, हाँ. आरुषि 2x ये दिखा रहा है. देखो ये पढ़ो क्या लिखा था हम लोगों ने.
Small change.
Seeking a change in the value of dependent variable with respect to a very, very small change in the value of independent variable. ये दिखा रहा है. तुम रन रेट देखी हो? रन रेट क्रिकेट देखती हो? नहीं देखती हो, इसीलिए. अच्छा, तुम्हारे घर में पंखा है? पंखा होगा ही.
हाँ.
वो पंखा है, उसमें रेगुलेटर के साथ वो स्पीड बढ़ती है पंखे की. वो मतलब वो खटखट वाला नहीं, वो धीरे धीरे घूम, वो एकदम स्मूथ घूमने. देखा है वो फैन? उसके रेगुलेटर से ही वो ऑन ऑफ होता है जो, राइट? उसमें तुम रेगुलेटर को अगर बहुत तेजी से घुमाओगे तो पंखा क्या होता है? बहुत तेजी से घूमता है क्या? घूमेगा ऑफ कोर्स. थोड़ा थोड़ा करके घुमाओगे तो धीरे धीरे उसकी स्पीड बढ़ती है. तो यही रेट ऑफ पंखा इज द स्पीड ऑफ फैन इज अ डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल. द रोटेटिंग द एंगल बाय विच द रेगुलेटर इज रोटेटेड इज अ इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, राइट? सो अगर फैन की स्पीड मान लो 2 रेडियंस पर सेकेंड से 4 रेडियंस पर सेकेंड हो गई. रेडियंस पर सेकेंड इज स्पीड ऑफ द फैन का यूनिट, ठीक है? in 1 second, in 1 degree rotation, for example. The rate of change speed of fan is what? 2 radians per second per degree. समझ आया?
Yes, sir.
ये इसको 4 बार पढ़ो, तुमको समझ में आएगा कि हम देख क्या रहे हैं. So we are observing a change in the value of dependent variable with respect to a change in the value of independent variable. In this case, y is changing with respect to x, y is changing 2 times the x.
Okay.
If x is by 1 unit, y will change by 2 units.
Yes.
Understood? लिख लिया ये सबने? तो आप लोग, आज का होमवर्क है आपका, आप लोग इसको जाके प्रैक्टिस करेंगे अभी फर्स्ट रूल ऑफ डिफरेंशिएशन से. कल की क्लास अच्छा कल तो देखना पड़ेगा, कल के क्रिसमस मुझे कल बच्चे कितने आते हैं, क्योंकि बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स बाहर जाते हैं. लेट मी चेक. हाँ, y इज इक्वल टू एक्स क्यूब प्लस 3x² प्लस 2. दिस इज योर होमवर्क फॉर टुडे सेशन. बस इतना करना है और मुझे बताओ क्या किया तुमने. ओके
Sir, I have a doubt.
हाँ हाँ पूछो.
If we put the value of two different value of x as 3 and 2, then the difference will be of 2x.
सॉरी,
If we put the delta x as 1, or the x1 and x2 would be 3 and 2. If
हाँ
we put x1 as 3 and x2 as 2, then would be
हाँ,
the value be same.
मैं नहीं समझा तुम्हारी बात, क्या बोलना चाह रहे हो. व्हाट इज द कॉन्टेक्स्ट.
x1 को अगर मैं 3 पुट करूँ तो,
थोड़ा
और
जोर से बोलो
x2
पहले
को,
तो, थोड़ा जोर से. हाँ,
सर
माइक
x1
को
को
पास ले आओ
अगर
अपने.
पास ही है सर, x1 को अगर 3 पुट करूँ और x2 को अगर 2 पुट करूँ तो सर डिफरेंशिएशन रेशियो उनका 2x ही आएगा, क्योंकि मेरा 5 आ रहा है अकॉर्डिंग टू द फंक्शन y is equal
पहले ये बताओ व्हाट इज द चेंज इन द वैल्यू ऑफ x व्हेन वी आर लुकिंग फॉर डिफरेंशिएशन.
to 0 near
h
to
इज वेरी 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 स्मॉल, राइट. तुमने क्या कर दिया h का
1.
1 ले लिया. 1 बहुत छोटा है क्या. इज इट क्लोज टू 0, वेरी क्लोज टू 0.
No sir.
By saying it that it is very close to 0, we are making it 10 to the power minus 9999 से भी छोटा. Even you cannot plot it in the number, ये क्या बोलते हैं उसको, नंबर लाइन.
Yes.
समझ आया. बहुत छोटा होने का मतलब है इट इज अ नेग्लिजिबल थिंग. तभी हम उस डिफरेंशिएशन की बात कर सकते हैं, नहीं तो हम तो सीकेंड के हर सीकेंड का स्लोप अलग अलग आएगा. आएगा या नहीं आएगा,
हाँ सर.
है ना. तो वो रेट ऑफ चेंज उसकी बात नहीं करनी है तुमने. ठीक है दर्पण सिन्हा, समझ आया नहीं आया तुमको. हाँ ना बोलोगे भाई.
हाँ सर.
हाँ वेरी गुड. Siva, you understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Today's session, understood? All of you, please switch on your camera. Shreya, खैर तुम
Yes,
लोग
sir.
ये तो ये दोबारा कर रहे हो तुम लोग, बट ठीक है चलेगा, है ना. अभी we have a session from 9:20 onwards, right?
Yes, sir.
This is for numerical solving, track 1, 11th standard portion. ठीक है. आन्या सिंघल को समझ आया कि नहीं आया.
Understood.
विश्वा मेहता आपको.
Yes, sir.
वेरी गुड. पौरवी.
Yes.
आदित्य.
Yes, sir.
ओके. नमन, अच्छा नमन हैज ऑलरेडी डन दिस. दर्पण.
हाँ सर.
ओके.
सर
समृद्ध
कल कब क्लास है सर?
किसकी.
कल डाउट सेशन.
मैंने कब कहा डाउट सेशन है कल.
ये पता है.
जोर से बोलो. मैंने
सर
कहा
आपने
डाउट
बताया.
सेशन है.
हाँ सर.
किसको बोला मैंने. बैच के लिए बोला डाउट सेशन है.
हाँ सर.
बैच को नहीं बोला डाउट सेशन है, मैंने पौरवी को बोला. मैंने पहले कहा है डाउट सेशन है कल लेना है मुझे. व्हेन डिड आई से दिस. डिड आई मेंशन इट अर्लियर दैट विल बी डूइंग अ डाउट सेशन ऑन मंडे.
तो सर आपने आज ही बोला था सर.
आज वो उसको बोला बेटा, वो उसको चैलेंज हो रहा था वेक्टर में, इसलिए.
ओके सर.
ठीक है. हाँ ठीक है. सो लेट्स मीट एट समृद्ध. You are in which
Yes, sir.
standard?
Sir, 11th.
11th. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this was a session for foundation batch, and in foundation batch we were doing calculus. So you are allowed to attend this session, but please be in time from next time onwards. You are aware
Yes,
of
sir,
this session or not?
Pardon, sir?
You are aware of this session or not?
Yes, sir. I was aware of the session, but sir, actually I was out of station, so it was late coming home.
No
That's why I
worries.
said
No,
it
no
was
worries.
late for me to attend the class.
So your track today you have a session at 9:20. I have already posted in the group.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All 11th standard students, your session is at 11th and 12th standard students. So your session is at 9:20. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chalo, you may leave.
Thank you.
Thank you. Arushi, please ask your mom to join, or you just wait for here. Once these people